Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to the Adorable Dork channel. I am Sharon, or Sharewares Cosplay, as some of you know me more better as. It's another Cosplay WIP video because you guys seem to really like my last one with Nico. And so, I am wearing today Leonardo watch from Blockade Battlefront, or kekkai sensen, if you know what is that. I finished him last week completely. So I'm just going to talk about a little bit of the process that it took to make him for anyone that was curious or maybe wants to do it themselves. So I'll throw some pictures in here like I did last time of the work in progress parts of it, and you guys can look at those. So I'll start with the wig, and I'll go down. I'll work downwards. So the wig is from Arta Wigs. It's maroon. I'll link it in the description. I can't remember what the actual name of it is, but it's really easy to style, really nice to style. I used the 2B like frozen hair hold hairspray, and I just kind of styled it really messy like if you can imagine Deku from Boku no Hero, just curly, messy, deadheadish kind of look. Though I was looking at some reference photos, so some of the curls are actually how they were like canonically. And yeah, that's really all that happened with the wig. It was just a few like minor styling stuff. I'll move to the goggles next because these are probably one of the funnest part to make. There's craft foam, two different kinds of thickness of craft foam, a very specific kind of elastic band. I dyed the poly plastic myself. I used the eye dye for poly. Orange, and I boiled them and stuff like that. You really don't, the poly will melt if your water is boiling, so make sure that it's only hot, like the shower water hot, like dip your finger in it. If it burns you, you have it too hot. And you really only need to leave the poly in there for like a few minutes, like maybe 1 to 3 minutes. I recommend using a scrap piece of it first to see how it's going to turn out, and then actually using your cutout pieces. I just cut the foam and used a lighter. You can use any open flame to bend your foam so that it like has that shape where it's kind of like roundish. And then I used a metallic can of like spray paint to spray them, and the black foam was obviously already black when I got it, so I didn't need to do anything with it. I got most of the stuff at Joann's, except for I also had to buy like the poly plastic online. I only wanted 1 sheet and I ended up with 10, so I ended up getting more than what I paid for, so great. But yeah, and then everything just kind of got glued together in the end. The elastic makes it really easy to take on and take off, and so it's pretty sturdy as it is. Moving on to the shirt. So I couldn't find a pattern for this exact kind of shirt. His shirt is so weird because it has a weird like round up collar, and his he has one of those like shirts where it has the two-tone where the sleeves are different colors than the waist part, but it also comes down a little bit. So when I started patterning it out, I had to sew the midsection together first and then sew the sleeves on, and then I sewed the collar on. And so it was really weird, and I was kind of worried about how it was going to turn out, and it ended up turning out really, really good. So I ended up having the really baggy kind of pajama-like sleeves that I wanted, and it ended up being super baggy. This material is super soft. I wanted to go for a more pajama-like feel, because I knew that if I used any material that was too stiff, it would kind of ruin the effect that his clothes gonna have. They're like pajama-y, kind of jumpsuitish. I also had a hard time figuring out what colors to use, because he wears like a navy blue and a cream color, but depending on if you're looking at manga artwork, it's orange, and I was like, I don't really think it's that orange. I think they dramatized it. So this is like a cream color, and this is just your standard like navy blue, but I had a hard time finding the navy blue that wasn't too purple. So, you know, everyone can find their own colors. I'm not saying my colors are right. The pants were interesting because I've never had to sew a pair of pants quite like this, and so I was really trying to figure out how I was gonna do it, and I ended up using a pattern from a pair of pants that I already own, and I was like, yeah, because those pants give me the effect that I want, so that pattern will give me these pants that I want. So I made a pattern off of a pair of pants that I already owned, and I used that pattern to cut out the fabric and sew it together, which is really nice. And not part of those pair of pants was the waistband that I wanted to add. So I added a waistband to mine with some elastic. I redid this part like 4 times because I couldn't get the elastic to not look dumb. Like the first time I did it, it looked like scrunchy, and I was like, no way. So I ended up figuring out that I was gonna sew. What I did was I sewed the piece of fabric around to the pants first, and then I put the elastic in there, and then I sewed it together. And somehow that worked. I mean, me explaining it right now, I have no idea how that worked out, but it did. And so that's how I ended up doing that. As far as like everything else, like makeup wise, I've just been getting tips from people in the cosplay community that I know personally to help me with it. Leo doesn't have his eyes open like ever unless he's using the eyes of God, and so my eyes will be closed for a majority of the time, so I adjusted my makeup accordingly. Right now is not the makeup that I normally would use for him. Normally it would be more solid, but it's the makeup that I'm wearing right now because this is my daily makeup. Go figure. And I don't know. I did a lot of photos a couple days ago when it was raining hell hard, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I wanted to take pictures as soon as I finished him. And so I went outside when it was raining and I took a bunch of photos, and I did some editing and I gave the eye look and stuff. I really want to see more Blood Blockade cosplayers, please, 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 please. I know that there was a Klaus at SoccerCon that I didn't see, and I'm super mad now because I saw photos of them and I was like, oh no, I didn't see them. I wasn't cosplaying Leo, obviously, because it wasn't ready by then, but had I, oh, it would have been good. Anyways, I don't know if this has been helpful in any way, shape, or form, but if you liked it, you can give me a like, you can comment down below if you want to see anything else from me. Recommending cosplay, I take recommendations. If you want me to go to a specific con, I do that as well. I did just move to Washington, so I have more opportunities to go to different cons. I do plan on going to a Con in Portland, Oregon, so that's something that I'm looking forward to, and I do plan on going to Sommer this year, so I got this plan for some conventions to go to, but if you have any that I do not know of, because I don't know a lot of conventions that are in Washington, I didn't know that there was an Emerald City Con here, so please give me recommendations below because I have no idea where some of them are, and even if I don't go to them this year, I'll definitely keep them in notebooks so that I can have them referenced for future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, this has been the people from the Adorable Dork channel, and I will see you next time.